Okay.
Daddy, please, I have just one particular aspect of. I heard all you've said about Oni and the high-profile ladies he married.
Mm.
That's true. As long as there is money, women don't have any problem with polygamy. That's what I understand. Most Nigerian women don't have any problem with polygamy as long as there is money to go round.
Most.
But on Ned issue, where I have problem is his cause of prostitution, where he said there is a lack of husband. That is why women are into prostitute. I'm like, that's false. That's not true.
Mm.
I'm still thinking, I'm still trying to relate how we say lack of husband is the cause of prostitution. How? I don't seem to get that. We all know that people that do prostitution do it because they are looking for survival means. I'm not making excuses for prostitutes, but prostitutes are just service providers, just like every other service provider. They work just like every other work. It's like there's people that are in need of sex, and there's people in need of money. They come together and transact. It's not because they don't have husband. It's not because some of them have husband and their husband cannot um fend for them.
Mm.
You see them engage in prostitution too. So what will you say about that? If Nate actually thinks that it's because Southern men don't want to involve in polygamy, it's very, very ridiculous that someone that is aspiring for the seat of senator could think that way. It's very, very ridiculous. Very, very
Mm.
ridiculous. I don't believe I disagree with what he said, and I condemn it totally.
Mm.
There are married women living with their husband that are prostitutes. Married
Mm.
men patronize
Mm-hmm.
prostitutes. So how will
Mm.
you say that there are ladies on the street and they are prostitutes because they don't have a husband? They are on the streets prostituting themselves because they don't have means of survival. There is no work for them to work, and if there is work, it's not enough for them.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
that is my take on this. And I think that we Nigerians, we should be very, very careful with the people who are advocating, the people who elect into power. Somebody with this kind of mentality, he will not do better. Nobody can give what he or she doesn't have. This is not the right mentality. If you want to eradicate prostitution, you should first of all know the cause of prostitution, which is lack of unemployment.
Mm. But you see, even where there's employment,
80%
like
of
they still
eighty
have
percent
prostitutes.
of 80% of prostitutes are doing it because of they are looking for means of survival. They want to get money to pay their bills.
Mm. 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 Quite a lot of people are disagreeing with you. Some say you have a point. The gentleman here, Yusuf, how are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm very well, sir.
Because you get fine chest, you don't come wear shirt. Now what for you?
No, Haba.
All
Haba, no,
right.
no. I'm
Look,
disagreeing with her. Hmm?
you are disagreeing with her. Why?
Oh, it's gone.
Hey, Yusuf.
Oh, I would have
Ah,
loved to hear his point and his
I would love
reasons.
to hear his point. I'd love to hear his point. Yusuf, you need to come back. Oh. Be like, say, Instagram, say, you know where share the yank you.
My question is, women
Okay,
who
go
go
on.
into who agree to go into polygamy, do they really love their husband? And
I have explained that to you, Remy.
yeah,
In polygamy, it's not about love. Love can grow, but it's
okay,
not about love. And that's what you also need to understand that there's some women who come from poverty but are beautiful. And they don't want their children to go through what they went through. So when a rich man proposes to them and says, you know what, I'll marry you as my 8th wife, 3rd wife, 7th wife, they now look at it as an escape for their children. They look at the kind of schools the man sent children to school to, and they look at the kind of schools they went to. I know a lady, because I grew up in the hood in Ibadan, in a place called Arimo. I remember going to see a lady, and they did not have front door. As in from the street, you enter their house straight.
Oh, yeah.
No door. Those face me, I face you. If you wake up at 5 a.m., you don't feel bath that day. Because the bathroom is at the back of the house. So you have to go behind a tree to have your bath around 4 a.m. before people start to walk.
Wow.
So once it's like 4:45, that's when people should be rounding off their bath. You understand? Once it is 5 a.m., 5:15, where everybody done the bustle, you don't feel bath again that day. And this girl was beautiful. She did not want that life for herself. She was not well educated. She went to a polytechnic.
Okay.
Do you understand? Beautiful girl, curvy girl, but from a poor family. Her mother was frying akara. I don't remember what her dad was doing. You know, beautiful girl. Now, so one chairman, see her Monday, maybe he carry her for school, just like the girl. Say, you want to marry the girl as 3rd wife. Today, the girl is doing very well. Her children are all abroad. Top universities in the UK and the US. She has about 4 or 5 children. You understand? So she didn't make a decision based on love. She made a decision based on, I don't want my children to suffer like I suffered. I don't want my children to drop out of the polytechnic because my parents did not have money to send me to school. Do you understand? So sometimes we have to also take certain people into consideration when we make blanket statements. Love is a luxury. Say that to me, it's a luxury. Now, person with chop belly food, they love you.
Yes, so
Really?
that's true.
Now, person,
Love is expensive.
There's a level of poverty you will have. Love will never cross your mind. Now, how you will come out from that trenches? Now, anything will carry you come out that trenches, you go with it. If you are average, you can love. If you are wealthy, you can love. If you are poor, you can't love. It's impossible. Make inside that trench, you go fall in love, go carry belly. The person can't run, leave you. You know, calculate and well. They know they love forget to. They know they love. So you understand? So I understand that a beautiful girl married to a rich man but I also do not understand how polygamy can cure prostitution.
That was just what I was going to say.
It cannot.
Love exists. I can afford to marry for love.
Yes.
But there is a level of poverty you are in. You can't afford. That love will die.
But you know what, dear? It would get to a stage where, when you have, so a lady marries a man, agrees to be his 3rd wife because of money. Now she gets all the money and all the, whatever, all the material things that she wants. But then the husband does not exactly love her. Probably married her because of her, curves and, looks and everything. And then after a while, will she be happy eventually? Like 5-10 years down the line, Do you think she'll be
Now,
happy she made that decision?
let me give you a scenario. The husband
Yeah.
is a business tycoon.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
We're using Regina Daniels and Ned. Does Ned take care of Regina? Does he show her love? Is he kind to her? Does he tend to her needs? These are conversations we're having. We're just not using any man. We're using Ned and Regina. There are some single man marry single woman that the husband will not love you like Ned loves Regina. We can see that he loves her. We can see that I've been with them before in Dubai. We had dinner once. They have chemistry. You can't fake it. They have chemistry. He will join her and do TikTok video. You think it's easy to get a billionaire to come and be doing TikTok video with you? So what am I saying at the end of the day is, if you marry a woman because she looks good and she marries you because you have money, there are things you can do and that marriage will be sustained. Just treat her well. Treat her with respect. Give her money. You understand? Because that's one of the things she came into marriage for. Make sure she's happy. Make sure her parents are happy. Make sure your in-laws are sorted. When you marry for love, you can bullshit in-laws. Say, all of you. When you marry for money, in-laws have to be taken care of. Because they will not understand why a billionaire is married to their daughter and they are suffering. So there is a way you can arrange it. The girl will be happy. She will be happy. You understand? So every man, their relationships, when the people arrange marriages, where the people eventually fall in love, or they have a good marriage, the husband understands and works with the wife understands and works with the husband, and at the end of the day, they're okay. Regina, as a third or fourth wife, is happier than many of you that are inside your husband's house and you are the only wife. Let me not lie and give. I might not agree with the comment. I might not agree with the comment that polygamy is a cure for prostitution. I don't agree with that. But that you cannot be in a polygamous home and be happy. You want to tell me that all the 12 women that want to marry or New of Ife, they are all unhappy. You get within their mind.
They are happy.
They know within their
It's their
mind.
choice. Nobody forced them into it. They are
Some
happy.
women carry fire for head, though. You know, so if you think about it,
Fire for head. They will
Freeze.
relegate.
like me that doesn't like
Yeah.
stress, I can't fight, I can't compete. I don't have energy for
They
drama.
actually know their places.
When
They
you
actually
marry,
know their places, just like you say. So
Are
they
you
can't
sure?
fight. Yes, they know their
when
places
you
Let me
and
tell
they
you,
know what they married for.
women are smart too, and some women can be. They
marry,
have plans. They won't just go there to Some of them
some
will go
women,
in there with their plan is to drive the other women out. It's not I don't think it's all of them that will have the same thinking that, okay, I just want to go there and be a wife and, enjoy. Well, some, or one or two, their plans might be to go there and chase out the remaining wives so that it would just be, them.
let me tell you
I don't
something.
know.
My brother has 2 wives, and I've seen him with the 2 of them, and they are both happy, or they are okay. I can tell. At least I'm old enough to see. You can see people that are at war with themselves, and people that are pretending. They seem to be able to manage themselves. That's what I'm saying. Don't make decisions for just say me. Me, for instance, I don't think I can handle polygamy. Me, if I were to have multiple women, I don't think I'll marry. I think I'll have concubines. If I were to have multiple women, which I can't deal with, to be honest, it's stress.
It is so.
But marrying 2 women is not for my temperament or for my pocket. It's not something my pocket or my temperament can accommodate. I no get that kind of money, and I no get that kind of mind. But I will not say that the person that can should not. Polygamy is not a sin. Forget what they've interpreted the Bible to you. All the, what is it called? Moses, Moses had another wife, but David had numerous. David left 10 concubines at a point. Solomon had many concubines. Jacob married 2 sisters and their house girls. Do you understand? It was never, the Bible never did away with polygamy. We interpret the New Testament because the New Testament was given to us by Oyinbo people. And Oyinbo people now one man, one wife. No be Israeli culture, no be African culture. Now Oyinbo culture. So they sold the narrative of one man, one wife, which is not exactly what the Bible was trying to imply. Christ never said anything about polygamy. He was asked about divorce. He was not asked about polygamy. And you can't use the answer he gave for divorce as an answer for polygamy. Paul was the one that said one man should marry one wife. And I don't know who sent him. I don't know who sent him. So, and Paul advised that one man should marry one wife. Who would have had more than one wife? You can't tell me that somebody
To
has
maintain
3 wives.
decorum in the family. That's
Do you
this, is to
understand?
maintain decorum in the family.
Does one man, one wife really maintain
Does
decorum?
not necessarily mean, no. One woman
You
self
understand?
sometimes can be a lot of work, let alone,
Oh, it's some
more than one.
women, and everybody knows their function and their place, and he has money to maintain them. You know, some men are not like, they are not going to take you to the cinema. They're going to meet you at the dinner table at 7 o'clock. Be there. Dinner is ready. When it's your turn to share his bedroom, you will be informed. Baba, you know it's a job.
What kind of life is that?
You are marrying a billionaire. He's not going to come and join you in the kitchen to do
But let
dishes.
me ask a question, DF. Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
So the man who married more than one wife, 3, 4, 5, whatever.
Yes.
So he has money. Do you think that he will be happy knowing that these women married him because of his wealth? Or he just doesn't care?
He might not be happy, but that's his negotiation, the grounds for negotiation. So he just make sure that there is money, make sure that it's available.
Right, so he doesn't care if there is love, so it doesn't
You understand?
matter to him.
And if he marries the women under Islam, you will be properly groomed according to Islam. You will know your place. You will know that Islam allows polygamy. You can have as many as 4 wives.
Please, can I talk?
Islam has proper guidelines. You will give her space, give her her house. If you live in a compound, she will have her own house. She will have her own stuff so that they don't need to be fighting over anything. And if you cause the man heartache and trouble and you're always fighting the other wives, he will divorce you and throw you out and get somebody to replace you. So let's ask our brother here, Yusuf. Yusuf, real quick, what are your thoughts?
Okay, hold on. Sir,
Yes.
I'm from an Islamic home, okay? Okay. So what this girl just said, like the one that, I don't know what her name is, Viogi or what's her name?
Okay.
I disagree with her. But what actually you said, and this girl that's on blue, like you guys are making a point, like a very reasonable point. As I am now, trenches Modagbasi. I grew up from trenches. Okay, and I have beautiful girls, like very beautiful girls. Like you see them on the street hustling from themselves. They don't have anybody to fend anything for them. they are hustling for themselves. So it depends on the family, like based on the topic that we are talking about now, Ned Nwoko, it depends on the family. Like, okay, this daughter doesn't want to experience it like the way their parents experience it. Abi?
Mm-hmm.
It's totally different. It's just choice. It's your choice. It's your choice. It's what you just. It's what
Your network is very bad, brother.
you believe in.
If your
As
network,
I am now, I believe in.
hey, your network is
Bros,
tough.
I'll
Yes,
still
Yeah.
tell him I maintain that the
another
top
guy.
reason,
Maybe bring someone who has more than one wife.
the top reason why people go into prostitution is to
What is
make
you?
money. Nobody goes into prostitution for any other reason. And it's just because they like sleeping with multiple people. I don't believe that. And if you watch people that are doing prostitution, check their background. They are always from underprivileged families. If it's not underprivileged family, have you seen a rich man child that is into prostitution before?
Yeah,
Rich
it might
people
not be.
children, somebody that is
I
okay.
remember growing up, there was one very rich man. One of his first daughter was into runs, was a better runs girl.
Because she likes that
That
thing when they.
that if it's because she likes it, or we see her as someone that is from a rich family but she doesn't have source.
I don't know. Some people can just decide to be rebellious, you know. Anyway, our gentleman here, Femi Aderoba, how are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thought is that I want to believe we have different belief system and we have way of saying things. But I don't think that a man who doesn't engage in polygamy actually contributes to prostitution, because prostitution is all about, having what's it called, sex for a fee. So
Yeah.
not all men that have one wife actually do that. So, and not all men that are even in polygamy are still faithful to their wives. So prostitution is a matter of choice, and it's normally caused maybe by a need to fulfill a sexual desire or a need to feel among people. So I first want to contest the idea of Madam when she said that it is mostly poor people that go into prostitution. No, some people are from rich family and they go into prostitution. Being into prostitution is just a matter of choice, just because they feel like they want to catch cruise. Some people are even doing it because they want to catch cruise, or because of peer pressure, or because they feel like the main thing is that some of people that come from rich home, they're doing it because they want to feel among. But that is not actually my point. The point here is that not every man who has one wife actually go into prostitution, and not every man that practices polygamy is still faithful to his wife. So my thought is that the man was actually thinking based on his ideology and perspective to life, and he cannot be condemned to that. He must probably has married multiple wives because he doesn't want to be flirting around with ladies. So his opinion can actually be respected. But for him to have make a general statement that if a man is not into polygamy, they are practicing promoting prostitution, I think that is a big blunder, because you cannot, because you want to defend yourself for doing something and making such a general statement. So the one that practices monogamy doesn't actually contribute to prostitution. But if he chose to go outside the marriage, he can actually go with prostitute and increase it. So if you marry and for polygamy, if you are practicing polygamy just to ensure that you want to fulfill your sexual desire, automatically you may need multiple wives. Maybe your side chick, you bring him home and you bring her home and marry her, that could be a good platform. But if you are actually marrying for the essence of marriage, I don't think monogamy is bad, because there is even more advantages to having one wife than having multiple wives. Because sometimes here in Nigeria, multiple wives can even mean multiple problems. Because for you to even manage one wife sometimes is a lot of work comparing to managing like 3, 4, or 5 wives. So I will say that I don't agree with him, but at the same time, I will still respect his opinion, because he must have said that because of a reason or the other, but I don't agree with his opinion.
Thank you so much, Femi Aderogba. Thank you so much, my brother. God bless you. I'm looking for a man who has multiple wives as our final commenter here. And then we're rounding off. A man who has more than one wife. If you have more than one wife,
Daddy Freeze, can I say
live.
something?
Please go ahead.
Do you? I hope people understand. There's a difference between promiscuity and prostitution.
This oge dey deep. This oge dey deep.
Because what I'm understanding here is people are confusing these two things. You can be a rich man child or a polygamy to and still promiscuous. Prostitution has to do with people, commercial sex workers. That is what prostitution is. Why will you be? Okay, let me say, why will you be working where you're earning good money and you're commercializing yourself to earn money? I don't believe that rich people from rich background engage in prostitution. They can be promiscuous to catch cruise, to take so many waters, but that is not prostitution. Prostitution involves when payment is made. They say money for hand, back for bed. That is prostitution. So I think that a lot of us are interchanging these two words.
But some women do that in their marriage, you know. The husband wants to sleep with them. Oh yeah, alpha, bring money. Is that not another form of prostitution? Sorry?
Some women do that very wrong. All right, since we can't find a man, let me bring a final lady. Samaria. I just typed Sam and Sammy Oposo showed up.
Hey, so yeah. Sad. So sad.
May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, Samaria.
Daddy Freeze.
Samaria, you are wearing clothes today.
Daddy Freeze, I've been so upset. I'm not happy.
It scatter your brain.
I was duped today. So it's not funny at all.
Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
Sorry.
Bless you. What happened?
Man, I was trying to make reservation. I was trying to make reservation. I don't even know what I was thinking. Reservation we already had. So I was trying to make another reservation because they gave me a good offer. You know all these agents you find online. So yeah. I was so stupid to have given my security code to him, and they were just withdrawing money from my account. I mean, who withdraws money for a hotel reservation? You're supposed to just leave it on a hold. Maybe charge the person, or maybe if anything, whatever. I mean, the whole thing is just tiring. I have to come online to. I have to come online to just come and ease off because I've been so upset, so mad this evening.
How much?
It's a lot. Money does they come on my account like this.
My God.
I beg.
Did you ring your bank?
Yeah, I called, but they said they're going to investigate. It's going to take
yeah, they might be able to give it back.
90 days or whatever.
Yeah.
90 days.
They were asking me if I know about it, which I admitted, yes, I know about it. You can imagine, like, if I had told them, okay, no. I told them, yes, I was actually in communication with them. I was the one who gave them the card information. You get what I'm saying? But then I wasn't expecting them to charge me like that. They weren't supposed to charge me. I mean, I've been on it since. Let it freeze. Let me distract myself. I've been so upset. Let me just go back to.
Bless you, Samaria. I hope you get your money back.
I hope so too. I
Yeah.
thank you. I think Need Organ Need was just trying to indirectly talk to us, with the ladies, because I mean I saw that post. I mean he already has a lot of wives, so he was indirectly saying there are a lot of women out there, of which for a man to marry more than one wife would help to minimize a lot of us out there. But I don't know the term he chose to use. But I also feel, what most men do, especially in the north and most states that don't permits polygamy. They just have one wife, and because they have one wife, they have many concubines. They have concubines, you know, which is also encouraging the same thing he mentioned. I mean, if he asked me, that's what I would say. But he has a point somehow too. But then, in as much as not everybody wants, or not everybody's religion permits polygamy. He has a point somehow too, because there are a lot of women, there are a lot of us out there. Our population is more than the men, and there are a lot of us out there, who wouldn't mind, being one or two wives. So if she just
Amaria, can you be a second wife?
I can be a second wife. Mm-mm.
So if it's like Dangote or $10,
But it
reaches
all
out to
depends
you
on the
and stuff.
basis of being the second wife.
Unless he will end his first marriage.
No, I wouldn't want to be the reason why another woman somewhere is upset or sad.
Well done.
No, it mustn't be the reason.
Hold on. I have a problem with that mentality. If a woman cannot hold her home together and another woman catches the man's eye, stop blaming the other woman. Because if it is not you, to be somebody else. When that I don't want to be the sadness of another woman, I find that because I remember being with my ex-wife, and then imagine some woman is saying that she doesn't want to scatter. The home we don't scatter, we don't depend. We
That
are one
is, I
die.
had such option in the past. Growing up, I had my ex then, and I mean, it was a relationship of how many years? And trust me, I know he had a wife, but they weren't living together because they had, their differences and all the rest of them. And I remember times he had told me, let's run away. And I mean, this is somebody who was, I mean, he's rich, at least, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So if I would have done a thing like that, I would have done it then, growing up. But I just felt like I shouldn't be the reason. I don't want to be someone's prayer point out there. I don't know why, but
Because they will carry your name too.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I just felt I couldn't do it.
You want to kill a man inside a house, you are now praying for God to keep him with you. So God,
if they can separate and divorce if they want to, but not you. If it's consented, if the woman tells me, okay, come, you're welcome. I don't mind.
That's when you should even run.
No, I'm just saying, at least. Let's say, let's say, okay, you know what love can do? We love somebody and we are carried away. We just want to be with that person. And the family tells, and the wife tells you you're welcome. Maybe for one or two reasons you're needed. Maybe she had said, that's cool.
Women. This goes out to women. Some men are suffering in marriages, and they just need to be strong enough to leave that marriage. It has happened to me before.
They should leave first.
It's not easy. You see, my problem is you are women and you always think like women. Start thinking like men.
I'm a woman. How can I? Would that be possible?
Because you see, why am I saying this is? Why am I saying this? Some men are in relationship where they are being tortured. It's like somebody saying, my ex-wife will be doing prayer point. If she likes, she can. If she likes, she and Jesus can pray together. Nothing if it happen. I was delivered.
But that the priest, there are men. That the priest, there are men that is not even the woman's fault that they're misbehaving. There are men.
No.
That it won't be a woman's fault that they'll be misbehaving.
And we also need to understand something here. I was having this conversation with someone. I don't know who it was. The person said, my ex and I outgrew each other. We were okay in the university. We were cool. We're in the same class. We had similar ideologies. By the time we got into the marriage and the work, it became torture, fire. I'm sure I was also stressing her too. I'm not going to say I was the best of husbands and all that, but she was not a saint and she did not make me happy. So if she was praying, her prayer point is that I should continue. God, no, if he answer that kind of prayer. Make we know. It's like me praying that God should allow me to get into a position so I can steal more of Nigeria's money. Do you understand? If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in the marriage, you're not praying, God, change me. God, let me help this man. God, let this man love me. Let's love each other. Let's work together. You are praying that another woman should not come and take a man that you want to kill psychologically or physically.
The man should leave. He should leave first.
Because if you start dating him and he doesn't leave the wife eventually and they make up, so what will then happen to you?
He should leave.
Don't back anything up. They are not making anything up. If the guy truly loved you, what you should have told him to do is get a divorce.
That's what I didn't even want to, because it's risky that he frees. Because if that woman doesn't want to divorce in that case, and you're the one filing that divorce,
as the man
I will be at risk. Because you see, I fear my gender more than I fear the opposite.
You see, you create all these illusions and fear and all these things about what does not exist. A marriage is not working. You are good with the guy. You are done taking that step. Maybe that guy for still be your husband now.
Daddy Prince, let me tell you. No, Daddy Prince, let me tell you. Do you know a woman would prefer to answer a widow than to have a man divorced? Most women would prefer to answer a widow than to have their men divorce them.
Then she will become a widow, like Barrow alone. By the almighty grace of God, she will become a widow. If that is,
I'm just telling you.
Listen, forget this thing where they talk. If she wants to be a widow, she will end up as a widow then, if that's her choice.
Let me give you one story that happened. One short story.
Let us learn to normalize people getting divorces out of bad places. Let us start normalizing it now. Nobody knows what I went through. You can never know it. Sometimes when I remember and the problem was I was too weak to get up and leave. You know what gave me strength? My ex-partner left. He gave me small strength. He packed alone the second time I was leaving. I was throwing divorce to her straight. But if she had not left, I would not have had that strength. And I would probably be dead today or in prison if I had continued in that marriage. I would probably have been. We were that close. We were cat and dog. There was a time I was on the Third Mainland Bridge and we started fighting. My neighbor drove the whole Bridge. They were calling him on the Third Mainland Bridge to come and separate us. He drove the whole Third Mainland Bridge and still met us inside the fight.
Wow. Thank God that he ended though.
So when a woman is now saying, I fear my gender. Oh, I fear my gender. I fear this gender. Let me tell you, there is no good man on earth. If he doesn't have a wife, he has a girlfriend.
Of course, yes.
I know somebody whose other girlfriend was a juju priestess.
Yeah.
So it's not his wife. There's no, unless the man we want marry a cripple, we poor, we ugly. If not cripple, we get money, you go still get one girl with there on top in case. Only a useless man will not have. As I did like this, inside marriage, where still dey my case. Where they worry me, I not just the answer them, I not just get their time.
Please leave DF alone for taste buds.
They're going to do you small style here, small style here, some people will even do our own. So if you are a man, there is no this one that is his wife. No. If woman won't kill man, if man can't tell you say you won't run, sometimes now you go help and run. Sometimes now you
Now me
miss
go
her.
help and run. Now me put them there.
Big question.
Hey.
Listen,
I
you
beg
see,
you, I wasn't there when they were fluffing themselves.
let me tell you, women tend to pity other women's side marriage because they look at themselves. Sometimes there's nothing wrong. You are just
Because
toxic.
if you leave I'm wrong, come meet me tomorrow. If you leave me wrong, go meet another person too. The same
It's,
koboko they go use for you.
It's not a good idea, Jerry. My sister,
It's
you
not
are
not
right.
good.
always,
Men,
uh,
gender.
It's like gambling. You're
it's like that.
gambling your
Okay,
time.
let me give you an example. You marry a man, then after you've married him, you have 2 children. Then you now realize that he has another wife, or he was formerly divorced, or he's just finalizing his divorce. Papa, marriage get dynamics. Let me tell you something. When
But
a man
that's different.
when
But
a
this
man
one
is
is
tired, when a man is tired of a woman, he's as good as divorced. In
that's right.
mind, no gain.
And he should go divorce. When he's done with the divorce, then he can come to me. If I may want to, then I can proceed. Not the woman is still there, and you're trying to bring me in, so she and I can start having issue. I'm not trying to risk my life over something else. No, it's
Listen,
not worth it.
woman way mad goes still mad. If she find out 5 years from now, say now you marry waiting supposed to be her husband, she go still get you for mind.
There was
So
this
get you
man,
for
yeah.
thing.
When I was in school, there was this man that was trying to get. I don't know what it is he had with one of my colleagues, and then he came one day and he was looking for the girl when he saw me. So we started talking. So he narrated that he was married, and so he was having issue with the wife, and because he wasn't in the position where he used to be, so the woman had to treat him so badly, and then he had to retire in the village. As God would have it, he was able to find his feet again. So now he's trying to move on with his life. He's trying to get married to someone. Now the woman has learned that he's about to move on with his life, and she is doing everything possible to come back into his life. And this is the same woman that had turned his children against him. The 2 children they had against him, and they were grown-ups. So at that point, he was now he didn't know if to go back to the wife or to, I'm shaking them, or to marry the girl. I told him, sir, I mean, with due respect, I'm talking about this person is a rich man. When I mean rich, I told him, sir, with due respect, but that woman is not coming back because she wants that marriage. She's coming back because she has a motive. Women would prefer to hear that their husband is no more, yeah, than to just hear that one little girl, maybe some, especially when they feel that person is not what you know what I'm saying, like their class took over their husbands from them. I told him that. I told him just to be careful. I don't know. She's not coming for good. You know, it's typical of our women wouldn't want to hear that the man divorced them unless they're the ones divorcing you. But to hear that their men divorced them, typical.
Now me filed
We don't
divorce.
like it.
What my ex did, she filed for
You
separation. What's that thing called? Judicial separation. I say, you are who? Judicial water? No way, Jose.
So,
Straight up divorce. Ba, ba, ba. Waiting be that. Waiting be separation of fam. Come on.
She didn't want
Man,
to leave.
But Daddy Freeze, most men are always indecisive about this thing. You see, the
because
men
of
they complain most. They are not happy, but they are there.
that's it.
the
There will always be
Pepsi.
complaint. Yeah, sister, sorry, there was something you were saying earlier. You said something about rich people's children, not, most of them don't go, you said rich people's children don't prostitute. That's a fat lie. Let me tell you, money has a spirit. In fact, it's even because that they came from rich home that they would go into that thing. And most of them don't even go into it because of money, not money related sake. And talking about
That
prostitution, it all depends on what you
is different from prostitution.
exactly, because the
She
prostitution
define
you're talking about are
okay.
the ones that stand on the roadside. Those ones are different. The ones we're talking about that most such people engage in you know how it's like you just sleep with your father's friend and family friends that find you attractive. And it doesn't matter that the money is there. They already know you have those money, but they keep buying you those things. They keep getting those gifts. It's like, you may not even know how come. You may not even know you are doing it. But to you, you think it's fun, it's lifestyle, it's part of life. It's part of youthful years, whatever you call it.
Now,
They
I
are
want to
all the
end.
same.
I want to end, and I'm very grateful to you, Samaria, for at least admitting on air that you've dated a married man.
That is
Most girls
that is no. That's not.
will never
You're
admit
making me laugh.
it.
I'll be crying now. I'm smiling. That is I did not tell you that I dated the married man. Oh. I told you. I said
She said it, or
that
did
I
she
know
not say?
somebody. And then that
Sorry?
he was married. Though that
That
if
you
you
dated it?
My ear is
anyways,
I'm not
I
sure.
didn't tell you that I dated the married man. That wasn't what I said. I said I was trying to make a point that I had a boyfriend. At that time, he was married, but they were separated.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I said. They were
Unfortunately.
separated, but they weren't divorced.
Oh yeah, Samaria, come and be going. I want to bring La Peace for 30 seconds.
Okay, that was what I said, though. Please.
But I'm proud of you for admitting no woman. In fact, this week I'm going to do Have you ever dated a married man? Make people come talk. And I bring Samaria. You don't confess already, so no run. Wednesday, that's our top. Have you ever dated a
Oh, please. Good night.
experience? Then after that, Remy to come and tell us how. All right, Samaria.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Samaria.
So, real quick. So Wednesday is me and Samaria. We go talk this one tire. Peace. Where's she? Oh yeah. Final. 2 minutes. In fact, 1 minute safe. Someone say, where is Wowza? Wowza date like Qatar right now.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Come, una know they sleep for this Lagos. As in all of you wake, your eyes are bright. All of you are okay.
But you also know, in fact, you also make us go to bed. Once we come back, we want to go to bed early so we can be up to do this.
So you can wake up and join me. Okay, let me hear you.
Okay, so the thing is, I hear my sisters. Hi.
Hello.
I hear you, and I agree with what you've said, Daddy Freeze. A lot of us are going through hell. Much, in fact, I don't want to say more than women. And I think it's basically because of this you are a man factor. Because I hear some of us saying men don't want to leave. And I was having a conversation with a friend just a few days ago. And I told I told him, I said, I'm not going to bring up my son. I'm not going to tell my son, be a man. You are a man. Don't cry. Men don't cry. That's part of what has killed most of men today. And what if men open their mouths to tell you what they are going through, you will weep.
Yeah.
Some men have lost their self while trying to please ungrateful women.
Tell you
But
that
nobody talks about that.
If they drink beer, I suppose carry you go drink beer, I swear. We go leave your house.
Very
that's the truth. I know a few people who are in that marriage because you see, when people come and say, oh, women, they are considering it's because of the children. If you know how many men are taking shit because of their kids, just because they don't want, the family to go apart. If you know what men are doing, tolerating, dying themselves just to keep it together, you will fear your gender. Your gender on a trial. I give on our men are going through a lot. And like Daddy Free said, I am saying it. Men, women, men in particular, should legalize taking a walk. Should normalize taking a walk.
Normalize it.
Normalize it.
You know, women are always quick to come out and shout. Everybody will like, oh, she's a woman. But men, they will buckle it. They want to be that man. That's very wrong.
There was a story I heard about many years ago. So I can't really, it was a story many years ago in Port Harcourt. This woman every day, she'll be screaming, hey, my husband has killed me, oh, one thing. And then people who abuse this man, One day, that is how they started fighting again. The woman was screaming, only for neighbors to peep through the window and find out. He forgot to lock, because normally before the woman starts, they say she would lock everywhere. People thought it was a man. Only for people to find the woman on him, beating him. Of the reason why he would not come outside.
Talk.
Men are going through a lot. And our women should stop raising their son to stop telling their son, oh, you are a man. It's okay.
Don't complain. Don't talk.
Your sister, you are a man. It's a man up.
Don't cry.
Don't cry. No. Let people, please, your son to be expressive. Let them scream if they have to scream. Let them be themselves. Let them show emotion. Let them express.
And be vulnerable.
It's all right to be vulnerable. Yes, sir. You're right.
Nigeria, Africa, man up, or if you work in AD. Get it? I don't understand where that is coming from. It has sinked our men. It has killed our men. And please, anyone, anywhere, once, because people will come and even I hear people tell women, oh, so long as it's not life-threatening. Do you know what emotional stress can cost you as a person? Once you're not finding the joy is not there, rather than tolerate hear all these things, take a bath, take a walk. It's not by force. It's not by force. People that understand.
Please, men leave too. Dear, you know, I know a man who he's white, is a white British. He just left his marriage of 25 years. And I asked him, I said, why? Why wait that long? He said, they have just one child. And he said, because of that child, that he didn't want that child to grow in a broken home. So he stayed and he endured. And you know, all of his friends, everyone knew what the wife did to him, how she spoke to him. She had no respect for him, no regard for him. And this is UK.
Now,
so he can't do anything.
What he did is part of the reason why we are here. Stop staying in bad marriages because of children. You are punishing children. They can see you with what you are going through. Stop. You see, stop analyzing toxicity. And it's part of what I was talking about earlier on. In Nigeria, we have normalized toxicity. We have normalized manipulative behavior. If your mother comes to you and asks you for a loan and doesn't pay back, what is she teaching you?
Of course,
she's irresponsible.
Not to be
unaccountable life.
Yes. That's what she's teaching you.
Your mother, these are not things that you joke with. Christ said, don't ever swear. Let your yes be yes and let your no be. Yes, mothers can play around with their children, but you have to be careful where you draw the line. A mother that tells her child over a loan that she collected from him that did I not carry, that woman is toxic. That is toxicity. And if she raised you, she will transfer that toxicity into you unconsciously. You will go into a husband's home or your wife's home and think it is normal to use.
I think a lot of times men don't want to leave because they don't want to share their property. Sometimes. Yeah.
And sometimes that's why if you are not sure in a relationship, don't buy a house, don't rent. When you are living, there's nothing to share. And let me give you this. Let me tell you something here. When I was in I didn't buy any property. I didn't. And it's part of the reason why what made my divorce easier than Taste Buds' divorce. Because Taste Buds had a lot of property. So the ex did drag the property with her until today. Till today, the ex did drag the property with her. Me, I had watches. You want to tell George to give you my watch, will be man watch. They brought it up in court. It was thrown out in 10 seconds.
And the freeze has sense.
So a lot of people will tell you that if I had more property than watches, I might not be where I am today.
Yeah.
Because they will be something they want to drag. Even I had one house then. It was uncompleted. She asked for it. She said she wants to live there. I said, you want to live in an uncompleted house? And I could now not complete the house for a long time because my case was, this is an uncompleted building. You can't move into an uncompleted building. So I understand where you are coming from. And men, you need to be careful in relationships. If a woman is not your wife, don't start doing things together.
True.
We have to have a day we delegate entirely to divorce. Guys, it's been a wonderful
Daddy, please, there's one idea I want to give men. I want to give men that for in case of divorce in future.
One other thing we should talk about, please find time to talk about our people in the abroad. Our women. You see, I don't want to generalize, but 80% of our men in the abroad.
We have talked about it now before they will come and start bashing us women in the abroad. It's not all of us that.
Samaria.
That's why I said 80%. I'm depressed.
Wednesday, I'm not sure I have a booking on Wednesday. Wednesday, we have to come and talk this talk.
We need to find a day that is free to talk about
just men only.
Relocation and relationship after relocation.
Yeah, maybe that one.
So
we need to. Our men abroad are going through worse than you think.
It's true. I agree.
They are going through worse than you think. A woman here who is I don't know what to describe her as, would get there and turn into something else you don't know. But
not all of them. Well, you said 80%, so.
Right, guys. I know this topic is very quick and we will not stop. Thank you, Oge. Thank you, Samaria. I'm so sorry about what happened to you, my sister. I'm so sorry about it. Thank you, Remy. Peace. Wednesday, I'll wake you up. Take care.
Okay.
All right.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night.
Good night.